Alright, y'all. Hope y'all can see me okay. It's dark. Getting ready to head out. I am about less than that. How far am I?
Home. Messaging.
About 5 hours or so from where I'm fueling. And then I'm not that, less than 20-30 minutes from the customer after I fuel. And I might just sit there for a little bit because, well, it depends. It's Houston. I like driving Texas, but you need to. That's why I kind of waited a little bit too. Is because I already know how it is in Houston. It's better to drive that crap at night than in the day. So I'm a Google map it once I get close, get to the truck stop, and see if there's a way for me to park on the street near the customer. But I may sit at the truck stop because then it'll be about 30-40 minutes out if I get there. Because I think they have my appointment. I forgot what time the damn appointment is. If I could park on the street, I'll go there. Tomorrow's voting. And Dustin Quinn actually reminded me. And Dustin, thanks for reminding me. Tomorrow is voting. So y'all get out if you haven't done your absentee ballot, and prayerfully, hopefully this thing is recording me. Prayerfully, y'all get y'all voting done. I hope it recorded me. Yeah, let me check. So tomorrow's voting. Y'all go ahead and get out. Hopefully y'all get out and get your vote or whatever you're doing done. Be supportive of others that are voting if you haven't done your absentee stuff. So I'm really wanting to see what's going to happen tomorrow. There's a lot of shenanigans going on with the voting. My aunt registered to be a poll voter, or to register to be able to work the polls. And not that kind of poll, but the voting polls. Let's say that, because some of y'all really scare me. My 30-minute break is up. I'm going to get up the road here. Also, I'm going to say this to you. I get people to reach out to me in the background. My whole judgment thing, I don't judge folks no more. That's God's business. We all come to the table with a lot of issues and a lot of things that have happened to us in this life. In most cases, there's some people, maybe you grew up in a perfect world. I don't know how you did that, and if you did, yay for you. But a lot of us did not grow up in perfect families, and sometimes even the families we grew up in, we're so used to dysfunction that we think that the dysfunction we grew up in was normal. That is not always the case. And so I've learned in this industry to have a lot more mercy and a lot more grace, which is what I was trying to tell the Christian Nigerian chick who was on here preaching and teaching about how she interacted and what she expected from people. You can share the love of God without beating people over the head with the word, and I've learned that because I used to be a lot more, I'm going to say, over the top when it came to it, and now I've just learned, just love people, share God with them where they're at, and then let God's Holy Spirit do the work, do the rest of it. I just don't beat people over the head anymore. I can't, because of my own imperfections, my own jacked up childhood, and now wrapping my head around a lot of things that happened to me. It took 50 years for that to happen. 40 plus years for that to really happen, for me to wrap my head around a lot of the bad things that happened in childhood. And it impacts us later in our life in some form, in some fashion. I got two brothers that don't even realize. One, our obesity issue has to deal with how we were raised. And we can stay in the excuses and keep blaming my biological mother, but we also have to go back and see where the original problem started. There's other issues that I see with both my brothers. And even though maybe I'm not as close to them, I just see some things that I know stem from the highly dysfunctional household and the highly dysfunctional biological mother that we had. We have to forgive. God bless her, I got to forgive her. But I also have to wrap my head around it. I have to see where the original problem came from, then take ownership of the problem and deal with it, because you can keep placing blame, but eventually placing blame just has all it is just giving power to the situation, and you never dealing with it. We have to actually deal with it. So, there's never any judgment. I try to help people regardless of where you're at in your life, and I believe that everyone, whether I agree, understand, don't understand, we all have a right, God-given right, to eat, live, and breathe. A lot of what's going on right now, like I tell people, and not too much politics, I probably should when they just have a good conversation. A lot of people I tell, a lot of this is happening for a distinct reason. On my Christian channel, I had to deal with a friend of mine who said some really bad, well, he came off to me a negative way about the Christine Blasey Ford. And because he's a psychotherapist, was this woman, she lying, da 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 da, and talking about this woman in a very negative way. And I'm like, look, to me, her testimony seems sincere. Could she be lying? Yeah. Could she be telling the truth? Yeah. The ultimate thing is, though, I'm just going to make a judgment call based on what I'm seeing, probably from my own perspective as well, and so are you. Is this woman your client? No. Is the judge your client? No. So you need to just cleave your tongue to the top of your mouth and shut the hell up. Everybody's wanting to chime in on some stuff. And when you go on a personal attack of someone you may not know and you don't have enough evidence, you just really need to shut up. There's not a lot of evidence against this lady. Now, there's a whole bunch about old boy. He sat there and blatantly lied, and he was a choir boy. Was he rapey? Yeah. I got question marks. But at the same time, I'm not going to get on social media and just blow this man up. I see issues, but I understand that everything's happening for a reason. The underbelly of America needed to be exposed so it can wake some of us up, because we're so materially in our own little bubble. That's all we care about. We're not looking at the big picture of everything else. So now America's waking up, and we're due for what I call a revolution, a change that needs to happen. So y'all, tomorrow I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be listening. I'll get to watch. I'll be listening, and then as I get some breaks, I'll hopefully get to watch some of what's going on in the polls. And preferably there's some changes, because I saw some stuff today on the news. They dragged this black kid, a divinity student, a ministerial student, out of a rally that he was just sitting there peacefully listening to the issues. And they asked all the African-American students, which 4 of them, that they were no longer welcome, even though they were registered for the event. And they dragged this one boy out of there, and the way they did it, I was like, oh my God. It's just a lot going on right now, people. But no, I don't judge based on that. I'm still trying to help you if I can. I mean, unless you're into some real foul stuff. I don't get involved in foul stuff. But you're trying out here to make a living or get in this industry, if I can point you in a direction, I'm happy to do it. So thank you. But yeah, everybody vote tomorrow. That's a beautiful thing. And let's see what happens. And, all this is happening for a reason. It's just like, even right now, a lot of people are anti-Christian because you have a group of people, and they call them evangelical Christians. So now everybody, you can't do that, because these are 2 different groups. Let me help you something real quick, and then I got to get off here. Even though we were brought over ancestrally as slaves, we did come to the faith out of that craziness, okay, and how we were brought over. Would you compare us as Christians to the white slave masters who claimed to be Christians? Follow me? If you go back to the Bible and you look at what's called the Pharisees and Sadducees, these were the religious order of the time. When Jesus came up on the scene, they were anti-Jesus. Why? Because he did not line up in supporting them and coming in the way they wanted him to come. There are 2, we call it prophecy, prophetic ways in which Christ was supposed to come. He's going to come as a humble servant, and the other was as a conquering king. We know now the first way he came was as a humble servant. The second time he's coming as a conquering king. He didn't come in the way to support them and make them these little cool echelon stronghold that's rubbing noses with him. Instead, he came as a humble servant, here to intermingle with people who they did not look upon highly. Same thing's happening right now. It's no different. We have a group of people who want to intermingle and want to be more than what they are. They're scared of what's happening, the changes happening as far as the dynamics of the country and the possible power loss positions. Okay? But also this is happening because we have a group of people who've been caught up so much in materialistic things. You have just been in your own little bubble and not really doing anything beyond this is my life, this is my world. If y'all go back and watch that video, you have to search it because I ain't gonna link it. This is America by Childish Gambino. Excellent video. Because what he says in the chorus is, get your money, black man. What he's saying, that's been your whole focus. And all this craziness has been going on all along under the surface. And the only focus you have is money and materialism. There's a problem. Anyway, y'all, be blessed.